Dear Lord, baby Jesus, or as our brothers to the south call you, Jesus, beautiful, handsome, striking sons. Look, I like the baby version the best. Do you hear me? I win the races and I get the money.
Shake and bake.
But first, let's go rip in the R34.
Alright, so we got time here. You'll eventually, you come in here, man, so you'll, pretty sure the next one you'll be here in the studio, so you'll be able to see all this stuff, man. Alright, so
that'd be epic.
Yeah, we got that. Alright, cool. Alright, what's going on, guys? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from inside Japan, Pinku Style Podcast. We got a return visit, Matthew or Matt Haugen, whatever you call him by. And last time Matt was on here, I wrote it down here, it was episode number 113. And it was July 23rd, 2021. And that was now today is episode number 140. So we got a nice even number and everything. So the last time we was on here, again, we already was on here, so you guys can go back and check that out. I'll put that up there, here or there, or whatever. So you guys can check that out. Look at the last podcast because we kind of went over some of the beginning stuff. We're not going to rehash that, but my intro is one of the things we talked about the last time was just like, his involvement in drifting and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And there was really no talks about the announcement that you guys on the channel have seen that he's coming to Japan. And then a little bit after that, to set the timeline here, guys. A little bit after that, the podcast, I got a call from Matt. I was down in Osaka picking up some stuff. And he's like, hey, man, stuff about Japan. And I was like, he's asking me, I think he's going to come, man. And then flash forward to 3 days ago when he dropped this video, you guys know that he's coming to Japan, man. So, Matt, how's everything been going, man? And how's everything been leading up to making your decision to really jump into Japan, man?
Yeah, so this has been something I've thought about for years, honestly. I first visited Japan for Tokyo Auto Salon and to go drifting. Maybe it was really early on, pretty much right when I started drifting. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, all right. I was like, even the first time I was there, I was like, I want to live here someday,
right.
Part-time. That was where my mindset was at. And so through the years, I've always been like, someday I'm going to have a shop there and I'll spend like half time there, half time here in the US, blah, blah, blah. But I just didn't feel like I wanted to I didn't think about making the move there full time, honestly, until like probably last August.
Right. So it would have been like what you like, that was like about a month and a half or so after we spoke on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always like bugging in the back of my mind though, because I was like, I've been trying to make it work in Arizona, but it's just tough, and we can get into that more if you'd like to.
Yeah, for sure.
But finally, I was just like, what am I waiting for? Like, let's just go there. I had this, I'm going to sound crazy, but for anybody else who's like real spiritual out there, meditates, I truly had a vision where I saw myself living in Japan. I had a family. I had a nice house. I actually had a track around my house. And I was competing in Formula Drift, doing YouTube, and living my life over there. And I was like, it was heavy. And I was like, this is it. It's time to go down this path. It's time to make that vision a reality. So super deep there. I apologize for some.
No. It's perfect.
I'm weird, but I'm a pretty deep guy sometimes. So yeah, I was like, let's figure it out. I mean, it makes sense anyways. I'm competing over there this year in FD Japan. Why am I staying here? And
right.
The more I start thinking about it, there's really no reason why I was staying here. So
yeah,
might as well come there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's you're definitely not weird for that, man. Like a lot of people don't believe, man. Like people like people say you're dreaming, or it's kind of used in a bad way. But like everybody, for the most part, if you're halfway normal human, you dream at night and everything. I mean, I had some dreams last night, and even though I'm in Japan, I've been here 15 years. I've run a shop. I got my pro license, all that whatever stuff. It's still like you dream of like bigger stuff, man, and it's like a lot of the stuff that you like. I don't know, man. I think so much about business that my dreams are just like playing out in my mind. So, nah, man, you're not weird for that, man. You're not weird at all, man. So, like for that, I mean, as far as I want to get into the logistics part. as far as moving and bank accounts and family and belongings? How are you managing all that stuff, man?
So I looked at like all the different ways to move there, which is not many ways, as you're aware, but maybe viewers of your podcast aren't necessarily. And if you have family there, it's not too bad. If you have a good job there, it's not too bad, but you have to have a college degree as well.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I didn't really have a job there. I have a college degree. I have my grad degree, so I'm fine there. I'm educated, but I wanted to like move my business there. And I was working on that for months, and I just couldn't make any headway. Talking to the Japanese embassy in Los Angeles, that's the one that covers Arizona as well, and talking to the embassy in Japan and immigration, like, I just couldn't make any headway. They keep kind of giving me the same generic answer, and I tried so many different ways, and even up to this day, I don't know how to go about the like entrepreneurship type of visa. There is one, and I believe it's for what I'm doing, but I can't figure it out from here.
Yeah.
But I believe once I get there, I can figure it out.
Oh, for sure.
That'll be kind of the extended plan. But for now, I'm kind of doing it where I'm going to work part-time for Buy Now Japan. They're one of my sponsors. So, I mean, if someone sponsors you at like a serious level, you're working for them anyways. So that's kind of how we're going about getting in initially. And then I'll, continue that partnership and then kind of figure it out from there. But even that is so hard with the whole, the world going on. I don't want to say the keywords YouTube.
Right. Yeah. We don't like,
the cough that's been going on for a couple years.
Especially in the first 10 minutes of the video.
Yeah. The spicy cough is
spicy
what I like to call
it. Yeah.
They're not like, Japan's been locked down. Like, they weren't even letting
it's funny when you
people.
say that. It's right when your video. It's the same exact time when you say it right.
No way.
Yeah, it queued at the same time that the video there. But yeah, man.
That's so funny. Yeah, I said that in that vlog that's playing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right now where I'm at is there's a way to get in for like 90 days. We've applied for that, and we're waiting on approval. My date's set for April 1st. And so, like, looking back, I was going to plan a lot. I was going to, like, get the bank accounts figured out, get the apartment figured out, start shipping some stuff over, and like really have a plan where it's, I get there and it's easier and less stressful. But there's no way to do that with the current things. It's basically going to be, once I get approval, I'm gone, and then I just have to figure it out from there. There's really, in my mind, no other way to do it unless I start buying like double of everything, but I can't afford. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's not easy. Nearly impossible, but I don't believe it's impossible.
Oh, it's definitely not. Like I said, the big, like, the reason I'm smiling, I'm not even worried about your transition is, again, you mentioned Rahman, dude. Like, Rahman, to be honest, man, with all humility, the reason my business exists right now is because of Rahman, man. Because there was, right before Corona hit, I started doing export stuff in conjunction with the performance work. I do well in it, but my style, my theory, and my overall quality output, I've been turning down a lot of jobs, and export stuff has been filling in, man. And Rahman, like, I mean, there's a handful of other people out there that can mention the same about Rahman, man, and how he's a pretty selfless guy. He'll tell you, man, he's been in the process burnt by people, but people who, like, really work with him and pull their weight, man, he's a good guy, man. So you got him in your corner, you're gonna be at this shop, man. And I've been in this shop. I was just there 4 days ago, dropping off some cars, man. So we'll see each other a bunch, man. I'm only 8 hours up the road, and yeah, man, he's having him in your corner, man. You're solid, dude. Like, seriously, dude, don't worry about it too much. You got him there. He'll take care of you, man. Like, all his staff members there. I've never seen anybody at his shop, like, moping around. Everybody there always smiling, because he doesn't treat them like staff. And you're again, not getting too much into it, because I don't know who's watching this, as far as agencies and things like that. But you're gonna get your stuff all set up, man. You'll be squared away, man. You'll be good to go.
Yeah,
man. So
yeah, no, I'm stoked. Yeah, it should work out well. It's been really good having him help out.
Yeah.
It's been a good partnership so far.
Yeah, man.
I haven't been able to really plan.
Yeah.
It's been like Just the second I get my flight, I'm gone, and then
Hey,
get a hotel for like, you know, as long as it takes me to find an apartment, figure that out, and just kind of figure it out.
yeah. Again,
Something
he knows
that-
all the ins and outs down there, man. So he'd be solid, man. As far as the you know, your stuff and everything, we'll talk a little bit offline because I got some ways to get some things over here a little bit cheaper, and that's between me and you. And then also for your bulk stuff, like I mean, of course, the car Rama's gonna probably, you know, pretty sure he's helping you with that, getting that in here. And then for the your other stuff, it'll go by bulk. So FedEx, DHL, stuff like that. You just have to have somebody on that end, nicely pack it up for you and send it out. So the cool thing about our situation is logistics, man. Cars, engines, all that stuff, man. We got it on lock, man. So and it's you probably seen my post the other day about the Florida thing. I posted up about yeah, man.
I actually did
And
see that.
you know that's right there, man. You know, people like, oh man, you should. I got a few private messages, guys saying, hey man, why'd you post that? I'm like, dude, because I didn't do anything bad, and also those dudes are taking money from us, being dirty. So now, you know, screw them, dude. And also, like, they screwed over 400 customers. Like, you know what I mean? So it's I don't have no remorse for that, and I'm going to share that and also get people into my bin box. So things are looking good for us, man. With that, I'll be able to probably myself. We'll definitely be training together. As far as me competing, I'll see how things looking because I'm still kind of recovering a little bit from COVID. As far as, you know, finances lost, but I'm definitely going to be practicing is definitely going to happen. Like the thing Ramon is running right now, Nico, and also I'm going to be down in the Conto area doing stuff, man. So yeah, man.
Heck yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, man. So you say April 1st is when you're gonna.
That's the set date right now.
Right.
Yeah. My backup plan is to just move to Los Angeles temporarily April 1st. So I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
I'm either going to Japan or Los Angeles April 1st. So
Okay. So
yeah.
With that and everything, so that's cool, man. So you got to run into the other video. So anyway, guys, the video I was just playing for the whole time. That was the video, about 20 minutes long, of Matt just kind of breaking down why he's leaving and stuff like that. So Arizona, I want to talk about that, man. Like, I've seen a bunch of feeder series just for FD and everything coming out of Arizona. I know a few. I think what's the dudes? Maximus Drift, are they Arizona or Vegas?
Oh, Maximum Driftcast?
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, they're Arizona.
Arizona. So I mean, that's what I mean. I knew they were like Arizona, Vegas. So like, I figured like it would be more, you know what I mean, more like guys there because of that, man. Because I've seen the feeder series, I've seen a lot of events. So like, in a nutshell, can you kind of elaborate a little bit more on, like you were saying, like Arizona, like they have a good amount of drivers, but like far as a high level, there's no guys there to train with, or how does that work, man?
Yeah, so that when you look at Arizona, there's me and Forrest Wing that make our living from drifting, and Forrest Wing just moved here, and he doesn't drive all that much now.
Right.
So, and before that, it's just been me. There's other people that have competed. There's other people that have done Formula Drift here and there and things like that. But as far as it's like that's their full focus and where their career and making their money is, there's no one else in Arizona.
Right.
And so if I want to go out and practice on a Wednesday and just go to the track, there's not going to be anybody there.
Right.
I can call some people. I can get some people to come. But it's really tough. Now, if you look at like Los Angeles, you have Grange and you have Willow. You can just go there, and there's other professional drivers and really good drivers drifting there with well-built cars, you know? I think Japan is even another case, like Nico Circuit. You can go there whenever. And so looking at kind of the landscape, I've tried to make it work here because I'm already established here. I have my shop, and, you know, I have my mechanic and the cars and all the stuff, like all the infrastructure it takes. I really tried to make it work here, but that's been itching in the back of my mind for years, especially when I went full-time Haugen Racing like 2 years ago.
Right.
I was like, I don't know about doing this down here, but I don't really have a choice right now. And so then when I looked at California or say Orlando, those are kind of two hot spots. I guess Texas is too, and there's a couple more, but in my video I mentioned SoCal and Orlando is kind of two spots where there's a lot of other content creators, professional drivers.
Right.
There's more tracks, more events. I still just didn't feel like it was a big enough bump for I didn't feel like it was it would be good for the driving, right? But now I'm just another American living in California, Orlando, YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I really want to create a story. There's something that I keep in my mind all the time, create a story worth telling. And obviously everyone's version of what a story that's worth telling is different.
Right.
But for me, that's something that I live my life by. And I don't think that's the most compelling story. And especially when you're competing against YouTubers and other drifters that either have access to more money or have been doing it longer, it gets tough, right?
Yeah.
Even though I think I'm pretty unique, I'm still, the underdog, right? Now, if I go to Japan, might be an underdog still, true, but there's some uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
I'm an American living in Japan, YouTubing, professionally drifting, all that.
And you came from America like on your own, because like from my story is somewhat similar. I joined the military to get to Japan. Like everything I'm doing right now for speaking to you here from my own performance shop. I will lie to you if I said that was like, oh yeah, it was my plan. My plan was to come here, get a tour or two, and buy a Skyline and leave. And I did do all that. And I got that Skyline that I bought. I sold it to finance, the tail end of last year. And I'm here, so I'm an American that came here by way of military, got out. So I live here in Japan on visa. I'm not associated with the military. Pro driver. I'm not a YouTube. I post on YouTube, but we know the difference between YouTube posting and people who make their living in life and stuff off YouTube. So I'm cautious to call myself a YouTuber. I just post a lot. And then and I'm the only American in Japan with a performance shop. So and I think it's going to be something that's going to happen. We'll definitely put a pin in this and talk about it in person. But it's going to be weird, man. You're going to move to Japan. You're going to pick up and leave, which nobody else that I know personally has done that. Everybody here who has gotten here by way of military, American-wise, and stayed here or whatever. So you're doing a big thing right away by doing that, coming over here, leaving. A lot of guys in America right now have the resources to move, but they don't want to, leave or whatever. And also, one thing, you're a little older. I think the newer generation, Japan stuff is kind of being like, oh man, why are you talking about that again? Or this is how we do it here. A lot of the guys that in my age range that got inspired by Video Option, Drifting Goku, Hot Version, like we the ones that that got us into it hardcore. Now the new guys, they just seen Formula Drift since they've been kids, so it's different for those guys they're not really inspired by the Koguchis and the Taniguchis and all those older names that are retired now. So you're doing a great thing right away, but I will tell you, man, it's going to be weird. The support, you'll get less support because it's like you're doing a cool thing and they can't really talk shit or talk trash on you because you've made the move. So it'll be kind of like nothing. It'll be you'll reach back to Super Street like I did. You'll reach back to Compact Car Magazine like I did, and it'll be like radio silence. But they're covering Japan for years, and now you have an American ambassador on boots on the ground with a shop building performance cars, and you don't want to talk to him. So it's going to be weird, but don't let that discourage you, man. I'm just telling you how it's going to be for real. And Japan is you'll get to see the nuances of Japan. You'll meet really nice people, and you also meet people that's just like they're not approachable and things like that. So the pleasantries of what you see on the outside of Japan, you'll see the real for it. And not saying it's bad. It's still, I'll take any negatives of Japan over honestly living in the States. They're not really, too much. And as long as you don't get involved with Yakuza and stuff like that, you'll be straight, man.
Well, and that's the thing, I don't know how much you want to go on this, but
we can go as deep as you want, man.
Like Japan has some negative stuff, right? So
everywhere.
I'm not that stoked on the U.S. personally.
Right.
Some people I'm not gonna talk shit about the U.S. because then
Yeah.
everyone's gonna hate me. But it's like,
Oh,
in my
hey,
mind,
man! I spent
like,
3 years in Iraq, so I can say what I want.
yeah, in my mind, the U.S. is good. It's not great, and I think Japan is good, and I think Japan might be more great for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, you know what I mean? As far as people, not getting along, or there's like tension between people, that's here too. So I'm like, I'm not afraid of that. I'm like, it already exists here. If it was like, if life was perfect here and like everybody got along and all that, then yeah, I'd be kind of in for more when I go to Japan. But that's not the case here.
Right.
I mean, anyone that says that, they're just lying.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely,
So.
definitely. Like, one thing I made a comment and then I deleted it because I knew what I said was very, very abrasive, and I don't have an issue with Adam LZ. It was his post or whatever. Luke Fink posted something up about doing a thing, and I'm reading all the names and I'm like, dude, once you guys just call it the clout games, because that's what it is. It's like it's just like the who's who in their minds of who's popping and who's cool and who brings the most. Because it's a smart thing because you got all these people bringing all of their things, and I'm just looking at the names. And I actually know a few guys on the list. They're making their own little group of the hot guys.
Let me interrupt you because that is interesting, and I get asked. So I'm gonna come at this from like a really positive standpoint. I get asked all the time why I don't like collab with
XYZ,
Donut Media, Adam LZ, TJ Hunt, like you name it.
Right.
That is a specific choice. Trust me.
Right.
I'm not saying all of them have reached out. I'm not saying I know all of them, but I'm personal friends with Donut Media and Hoonigan. Donut Media's first video was with my car. Grandma's driving around. That was my car. I could go back and do something with them at any point. We've talked about it. Here's why I haven't.
Right.
I really want to develop my own brand.
Gotcha.
I don't want to go collab with another brand and then I'm suddenly maybe a sub brand of them, or I'm always attached to that brand.
Right.
I want to pave my own way, which is a much harder route. A lot of people would say I'm stupid for not doing collabs, especially if I do have some connections like that. But I don't want to be a miniature Hoonigan.
Gotcha.
Nothing against Hoonigan. I love their channel, but I want to be Haugen Racing. And my fear is that if I do collabs, especially when I'm a smaller channel like I am, that I get put in a certain bucket and I don't pave my own road.
Right.
So even looking forward into Japan, there's already a lot of stuff. Are you going to collab with this guy or that guy?
Yeah.
Probably not right away.
Yeah.
I want to still build my channel. I want to pave my own road. I'm not trying to copy anybody. I'm paving my own way. If something happens and it really truly is organic, then maybe. But it's like until I'm at their level, I don't see doing much collabs. That's same thing I've done in the U.S.
Right.
So
yeah,
want to put that out there.
No, that's an honest thing. That's great, man. Because I think a lot of if you're just being realistic, and that's a great realistic approach. I said it in my last podcast, a couple podcasts ago. We were talking about Adam comes up a bunch, man, because I met Adam in person, man. I talked to him about like 5 or 8 minutes, man. He's, to me, in the 5-8 minutes I spent with him, just me and him, he seems like a solid guy to me, man. So nothing against that guy. He's playing the game very well, and he's doing well, very good success. So it's not a knock on him and everything, but it's one of those things where even though I'm here doing this, my channel I just hit like 10K subscribers, and I had my channel since 2006. And when you have a big dynamic like that, even if we were to do something with him, you, with whoever, man, whoever has the larger numbers or larger whatever is, I know what you're saying. It's just pretty much like they're dragging you along versus when he does a collab with I didn't watch the video, but I seen he did some collabs with TJ Hunt or something recently and went to California or something like that and did some drifting. They're both like kind of on this I don't know his subscriber count, but they're kind of on the same level. So it's not like it's not like Adam's bringing TJ way up, or he's bringing. I don't know TJ or whatever, or TJ's bringing him way up. But it's just one of those dynamics. And again, like you mentioned too, there are guys here. Everybody knows who the YouTubers in Japan are, or whatever. I would be lying if I said I reached out to a couple of them, and there was no response. I worked with one guy, and it just was kind of like I told him right away before we went on air, I'm not doing this to get any of your subscribers. And he took that. I think he took it to heart because he didn't do one share, he didn't do one anything for the podcast, and it for the amount of views he would get on his normal videos, there was none. So I was like, cool, man. That's he really took it to heart there. So he didn't share it, and his video is like 200 some views and whatever. So it is what it is, man. But it's just one of those things where I think it's a good thing. I think that's a good idea, man, to do your thing and then get here for like maybe a year and really, really build it up. And then if it organically happens, like you said, cool. But not planning, hey, man, I'll meet you at Daiko Futo, which is the most overshot fucking place ever. Pretty sure you'll do a video there because it's kind of, I haven't done any there, but pretty sure you'll do a video there because you're visiting for yourself. So it's not like you're going there. Yours is different because you're not going there to film Daiko. You're going there to film your experience at Daiko. And I think a lot of guys there, they're going there, they're not filming their experience. They're just filming, let me capture the coolest cars and let me get with the Lamborghini guys with the LEDs like everybody else has done. And it's just like, you guys are killing it, man. Luke Huxman was the first guy that did that. And Luke is doing huge stuff now, Red Bull commercials and whatever. And, he's doing big stuff. And now all these other guys has kind of followed right behind him and doing the same thing. So I think it's cool, man, what you're doing, man. I think just by moving over, man, your channel's going to like really, really, really blow up and pop because have a good following already. And I just see nothing but, for me, man, I see nothing but success. And you're surrounding yourself already with the guys that you need to surround yourself with. So believe it or not, man, you're knowing me, knowing Rahman, everybody that we know, your resources are already really, really deep, man. So that's not a problem, man.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, it's like, it's exciting. And I'm, somebody, who was it? Oh, I was talking to somebody and they're like, why don't you make a vlog, drive the 350Z to the gym here in Phoenix? Like you could do a lot of those same videos here in Arizona. I'm just like, yeah, maybe I could. Maybe you're right. And maybe I could figure out how to make them entertaining. But I'll be honest, I'm not enthusiastic about it. And so that's going to go through in the video. Yep. Japan, I'm enthusiastic about. I can see myself, truly just making a day in the life vlog, like what it's like, my first week in Japan. Yeah. Not even car related. I could see myself doing that and having fun and making a good video out of it. Yeah. And so that's, I really want to have fun with this. I've had some fun with it, but it has been a massive grind. Man. I want to put myself in the best position to make this thing successful because, that's what I need to do. So I think it's there and I can go, I want to go drifting every week. Maybe more than that. I want to, practice a lot more in real life and go out driving. There's not an opportunity to do that in Arizona.
But it's definitely it's here, man. That's not it. Like you say, that's why I was trying to bring up the past podcast. I forgot who I was talking to, but I had a couple guys. It was a couple guys on, and what I was saying was like you guys in the States, you kind of call it events. Here you can literally drift 7 days a week here, like 7 days a week. Like I could go to the track here every day if I wanted to. And I did. When I first got here, I was going 3 times a week, and then it kind of, as I got better and better and better, and then like my responsibilities went up and up as far as the shop and everything else and whatever else that went down. But yeah, man, that's not a problem, bro. That's not a we don't.
And that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want to do. It's like, and then I'll make fun videos. Yeah, right? Like they're gonna be way better. Yeah, like here it's unfortunate because I do like some of the community here, and this is where I started drifting. But the events, like, they're at night, and the track it's usually on is really not that great of a track. I know the event organizers well; they're good people. I believe that they're trying their best, but they got to run a business too, right? Right. And I think I know too much that maybe others don't know. I hate saying that, but it's like they're not able to run the track like you could in Japan because they don't own it. You know what I mean? It's another company or it's another group of people that they're always working with, and it makes it they're just so hard to get along with. So then you end up with like an event, every month or 5 weeks. And then the only other track, because a lot of tracks down here, unfortunately, are like private race tracks, and there's some sick ones. Like we have a lot of tracks, but they don't allow drifting on it, and you got to have membership.
Bad
so it's like, I think there's like 5 private racetracks now down here where you can like live on them and have your cars, and they're incredible. But they don't allow drifting, so there's no events. And then you got Tucson, and that's like my home track. But you can go down there. They're open every day. It's similar to the Japan thing, but there's never anybody down there. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to make it work. I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I got to do what's best for me and my business.
Cool. And so one thing you will experience here is like it's going to be weird, and you probably be like, fuck, man, I came here too, and there's nobody here. So like because you're going to be attached to Buy Now for a little bit. Like the cool thing about Rahman is like he's really busy just like I am, but we're in a position where we can like, hey, I'm going to the track tomorrow. Let's load up and go. And his business runs, so he has staff there that all the staff doesn't drift, so it's not like they're like missing out or bummed or whatever. And they still get their time too. That's what I like about Rahman's setup. Again, I know you'll meet Andrew. He's pretty good guy, drifter. Always in high spirits.
Andrew Gray?
No, not Andrew Gray. Another Andy.
Oh.
Andy is he works for Buy Now.
Oh, okay.
Cool guy. Always. Every time and to be honest, man, I never ran into him, and he's been like, "Fuck, man, long day." You know, he's always smiling, always happy, always got a Bill S14 or his Arc 7 going or something like that. And so he gets his time, man. It's not like and I don't have staff at my place, and if I did have staff, I would treat him like that. I mean, as long as you get business done, you know what I mean? It's not like you're going to be a slave. Hey, do this, do that. Don't move or stay here while I'm go have fun. So you'll get to go to the track and everything. So in Japan, Monday through Friday, the tracks that are open are pretty much only used by guys that are going to be like you, Rahman, shops, whatever, because the common guys, they can't drift until like Sunday. So Saturdays or generally like a practice day. That's why I'm going to be in a better place when I do return back to competition, because now I can leave and go to Nico on Thursday and practice Wednesday, practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the events on Sunday, and I got a better chance versus the way I've done it in the past is I show up on event day, no practice, unload, get on the fucking track and get some laps, and it just doesn't work out. And my first pro event was the same way. I didn't get no practice the day before, never drove a Nico, and I got qualified, got my license and stuff like that. So it's cool, but it's going to be very nice. It's actually going to be nice to have a whole Nico to yourself and do what you want to do. And then when the events come around, a lot of private events, you'll be able to go there. And then Rahman's putting on his events at Sunrise Circuit for the pro ride. So I'll see you there. We'll be drifting together. And so right now I'm in the process of setting up a couple practice cars. And my competition cars are like right there. I just need a little bit more stuff to get those going and everything. And yeah, man. So my thing is kind of personally, and it's maybe I'm in my mind about it, but as me having a shop being only American here, I can't just show up now and drive. I have to make sure my machines have the best chance to like really display what I do and build, because if I go out there and break on the first lap, it's like, we knew he fucking couldn't do this or blah, blah, blah. But my customer cars are 600, 700 horsepower, fucking whatever GTR, spitting fire and flames and everything and running great. But they don't correlate that. They'll look at my stuff. So it's really, I'm being calculated about it. And I've been away from drifting for a little bit, because when I do return, it's a show all of what I do. And that's just pretty much that's like I said, what you mentioned, you have to do what you got to do for yourself. And for me, for my brand and everything here, like I know I can drive, but if I go out there with a car and it breaks, you know, it's just like it defeats the purpose of what I'm promoting, man. But again, that's just my thought, and I know how Japanese are, and I've done it on the time attack side, I've done it on the drift side, and generally every time I go somewhere, it's always a little standoffish, and then when they see us together, it's gonna be like, what the fuck, the blue hair, red mohawk, like who the fuck are these guys? And then after we drive, you'll see it every time, man. You'll love this. They're gonna swarm your car, like, oh fuck, man, like nice car, and wish your Instagram and wish your blah blah blah, and then it'll be cool, man. It's good. Yeah. It's positive here, so you'll see the standoffish people, but that's not your problem. I wave to them or whatever once, and then I go on about my day. So definitely, man. Like I said, I'm excited to have you here, because honestly, I don't have a lot of friends here, to be honest, man. It's weird. And the reason why is because mindset. you started doing business stuff at 21. You had some failures. You learned some stuff. You came back and you did some other things. That mindset is something that relates to myself, Rahman, and everybody else that you'll meet. And we're kind of in a different group because our minds don't work like common guys. And I say that with respect, but we're unplugged from the matrix. Like, you're moving from America to Japan because you're unplugged from the matrix, and you're not worried about going to work tomorrow at Amazon. And that's nothing against anybody that works in Amazon, but you know what I mean, we're making it happen. Success or failure, you're taking a chance, and I really respect you for that, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of funny in a way, but like, in a way, I'm jealous of people that have a career and work that like 9 to 5 kind of lifestyle and are genuinely happy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know a few.
That's a much easier, more comfortable route.
Yeah.
And I have friends like that I'm not as close with because I have trouble. I try my best, but I have trouble relating with them. Cause like, I don't know, they're able to go get dinner on like a Wednesday night. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Or I want to go day drinking and go to the pool on Saturday. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so there's jealousy, but at the same time, there's perks, right? There's positives and negatives. Like I've done a lot of like business podcasts and been guest on there, and it's kind of like people are always like seeking and asking like, what's it like? And I'm like, anyone who says like, oh, it's so great, like I have my own business, I have all this freedom.
Nah, bro.
Like, careful with that. Like,
you have less
positives, and negatives, right? Both ones for sure. So for me, again, this is what works for me.
Yeah.
So
no, what you do,
same. So
what you just we again, man. We can, we don't have to stay on it. We can definitely talk about anything, man. Like setting up your 32.
I mean, considering how like parts shortages and how crazy shipping has been, especially in the U.S.
Yeah.
I think really well.
Yeah.
Jameson, my mechanic, and I mean, between the two of us, we built the car in about 6 months.
Yeah.
So
it's not bad.
I think that went pretty well, and it's freaking top notch. Like, we didn't, I wonder if I go too far. I think I do, but it's kind of part of the style and the brand that I want to go. But it's like, it'd be one thing to kind of chop everything up, smooth it, out, and then put like steel it on it. But it's like, we went freaking full bore. We like capped everything. We blended like welds where we were able to, and like making sure that no smoke goes inside. Like the back end's all tubbed, and then everything gets powder coated blue chrome and red chrome and all titanium bolts and nuts everywhere. So it's definitely on brand for Haugen Racing, and I'm super proud of it. And I feel like it was definitely a good decision to do as much as we could in-house, rather than try to sub out, certain parts of the build like I've done in the past. Yeah. So I feel good about it. I unfortunately didn't get to drive it really more than a couple laps before I had to ship out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just jacked to get it there and me get there and drive it and, keep kind of just getting her developed, Like, I think everything's there for sure. It's not going to be any like development fab work wise, but just like alignment specs and shock tuning, stuff like that.
And cool, like I said, cool. You mentioned that, which come as a, because I got my alignment rack and he has one at the shop. So that, like I say, stuff like that. That's cool because like you'll be working, for by now, so pretty much you'll be doing free alignments because laser alignment rack, he got all that stuff there. Yeah. And then again, once you, I'm pretty sure you've seen pictures and videos of his compound. Once you get there, man, like he has so much stuff in and out of there, man. And like, he actually he works with other teams, so you'll see D1 cars, FD cars there. You'll just see a random FD player car there. They'll be right there. They got the Good Ride truck there and all that different stuff, man. So again, for as much as he has going on, he has the guy the Masuyama guy he's sponsoring, I guess, for FD USA, and yeah, man. For as much stuff as he got going on, man, like I really, outside of the help he offers me, Rahman is great because like he could be like a tool, because he got like a lot of stuff, man. And people that get a lot of stuff, they let that stuff kind of cloud their head and they become a different person. you know, and that's just, I don't like that, man. That's just, I can have all these cars I got, all the stuff I have. When I go down to a car meet, well, I don't go to car meets, scratch that. When I go to track meet and I have this S13 that's busted up behind me somewhat, I don't be like, oh, well, look at my phone. I got this Skyline. I got this Skyline. I got this car. Like, I don't care, man. I'm here driving this S13 today, and that's it. So if you know me, you know me. If you don't, whatever. And Japanese will kind of not get negative, but like, you know, they kind of judge you on what they see you in, so they think that's your life. Because in Japan, most drivers you see only have one car. They don't have 5, 6, 7, 10 cars. They got one car, and if they wreck that car, they're fucked for like 2 years, man. So in Japan, man, like, it's weird to see a dude like, you know, for example, Nakamura. People would think on the outside looking in, and Nakamura has a ton of money. He has like this rich dad. Like, nah, he's in Japan, which we consider a common guy, and he just has got a lot of connections. He's a badass driver, so he gets a little bit of things here and there, but he's not like rolling in dough, man. They just make it happen. Where drift is life, man. Like, I just got in a dirt bike, so they're like, why are you buying dirt bikes? Because I can. So they don't do anything else outside of drifting because they physically can't do that. So they just put everything. I mean, every fiber, every being, and it shows you just won a championship. And, you know, it's different stuff there too. You know what I mean? I always tell guys I can drive on a level with any of these guys. But again, when people say, oh, why are you not doing this and why are you not doing that? I'm like, dude, look at what I am doing. Like, the people never credit you for what you are doing and what you have done. They like, why are you not doing this? Like, dude, like, I would charge or challenge any of the top drivers here or shop owners to go to just pick up and go to America and, let's say, New Mexico, and set up there. They wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So again, kind of giving you more props on what you're doing, man, to come from America, to pull out of America where you've been born, raised, and did everything, and to come to Japan, a foreign place, and then set up again, is definitely something that people should be like, dude, that's, if you don't do anything else, man, the fact that you moved here, like, that's great, bro. So again, man, I'm just again excited to get you here, man. Like, so,
thank you, man.
So again, realistically, man, like, you know, you first we get here, I mean, he has loaner cars here, so that's not a problem here to get on this. So like, you're trying to get on the track right away, correct? Like, immediately.
Yeah. Especially because, like, if I'm, you know, if I don't know what it's going to be quite like right now, but the quarantine guidelines and stuff like that kind of keep changing. But I'll get there, and I'll have to quarantine a little bit. And we're creeping up pretty close to round one. And I don't think the R32 is going to be there. So I dropped it off the first week of January. And if you guys don't want to see more of this too, I'm going to talk about it in next week's vlog on my channel. But we finished the car New Year's, and then dropped the car off the first week in Long Beach. But it's literally taken that long to just get out of the port because the ships are so backed up. It actually hasn't left yet. It's been sitting in a container for months at the port. It just ready to be loaded up.
I'm telling people that, man, it's not what I was saying. I was telling some guys that the ports are really backed up, and I was saying that you hear about there was a fire like about 4 weeks ago in that vessel, and is it like and like that, right? Even though that has nothing to do with your car, it affects everything else worldwide, because now they're like, oh shit, hey man, stop everything, check the ship, because I heard it was some insurance fraud, whatever, not my problem. But they're gonna make sure that none of those other ships catch on fire, and whatever reason, whatever thing led to that fire. So I have guys waiting. Luckily, all my customers with the car stuff have been great. Everybody, I email them weekly. Hey, this is a process. I moved 2 cars down to Ramon's last week. That's why I was there. And like I say, you're gonna see me like once a week. Once you get here, man, you'll see me once a week. Probably once every other week, because I'll be bringing I'm bringing all the cars there, and it's a good time to arrive because it's getting hot. And man, winter time where I'm at is hard. Down there they get a little bit of snow, whatever, but it just gets cold. So you're coming at a good time, man, because down there is not as bad as up here. So definitely no snow and stuff there, man. So again, man, overall, man, you're coming into I keep saying it again because it is true. You're coming into a good setup, a good system, and you'll cars and getting transportation, and you know, I mean, long as you're able to chuck some coin here and there, like you're golden, man. Like he got the trucks, I got trucks, and I got my truck through Raman, and it's just awesome, bro. It's like everything that the stuff that so kind of going back a little bit for me, because I mean we didn't really talk too much, but when I came to Japan, or my way of coming to Japan was military, and my motivation to get through like basic training, because it was like kind of like some points where you got to run and all that stuff, and I'm not a big distance runner, but my mind was like I want R32 Skyline. That was what motivated me to get through basic training and running and stuff. I'm a sprinter, but I'm not a distance runner. I can distance run, but it's not really fast. So you got to run like like under 13 minutes in whatever, in a quarter mile or something like that. Not quarter mile, but a mile and a half. And so then I get here, like, and the way I get here was crazy. I got orders from the actual commander from PACAF to come here, and then everything kind of just unfolded, man. And kind of going back to what you said, the dreaming stuff, like, dude, I'm a guy, man. When I have visions and stuff like that, it generally always comes true because I really want to make it happen. So I fucking work. I meet the people I got to meet, and just put the work in, man, and it'll really come true, dude. So people, like, they'll look at you and say you're moving and you're living a dream, because I've seen some of your comments, and I'm like, nah, dude, it's not living a dream. You're just fucking putting a dream into, you're like putting it in emotion. And I think that's a lot of people, business, your private life, just even if you can't accomplish all your goals in one day, which you can't, it's not possible. If you could do like, 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day at your goal, it'll work, versus not doing shit at all. And that's the same thing for working out, for learning language, doing whatever, man. And my results here, if you look back on my timeline, every day this shit comes up is car, engine build, like this drifting, like that's what I put the bulk of my time in, and I'm kind of living the results of what I do, man. So, for anybody watching this, just do, like, if you want to really do something, man, just really be realistic about it. Like, obviously, I'm not good at math, so I can't be a neuroscience or fucking astrophysicist, NASA scientist, whatever, dude. I'm not. I couldn't pass. I literally failed algebra 101 3 times in college, and I passed everything else, but I just didn't want. It's not that I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it, and I was out like banging chicks and doing everything else. You know what I mean? So it was just like I didn't put time into it, man. So that's so you got to buy. So you buy another thing right there. But yeah, man. So yeah, brother, I think you'll be really good, man. So far as like outside of, like, you mentioned the family stuff. So are you looking to entrap a Japanese chick, or what's the plans for that, man?
I mean,
if it happens naturally.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I've been.
I did it, man. So no worry. I got a Japanese wife, so it's all good, man.
Yeah, I never really like talk about this on podcasts. But I've been kind of on like the. If you guys like watching my Instagram stories, sometimes when I do get like free time, I've kind of been about the player life for like 4 years now.
Come on, dude.
I kind of want to continue that in Japan, like have my fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I again, in my vision, it was a Japanese woman. And so
it's gonna happen. I mean, that's that.
Yeah, I don't want to like. But I'm not gonna force you. I'm not gonna be this chick. I'm like, we're getting married. Like, I gotta stay here. It's like I really like. I believe in love. Like, I've been in love before, and I'm like, it's got to be real, And I think if I'm living there, make my life there, then it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
right. So.
Yeah, I mean, because people told me when I got here, are you gonna, oh man, you're gonna get a Japanese wife and this and kid. And like when I came here, I got here in 2008. It's funny you say April. I got here August 1st, 2008.
Oh, nice.
And so I got here and everything, and that first, actually I had a girlfriend back in the States. So but realistically, man, for the first year, we were just talking and everything, and I was like, man, it's not gonna go nowhere. So for the first year I got here, I didn't touch anybody, man. American, Japanese, nothing. I just kind of like was talking to her. Then we had a conversation. I was like, dude, I'm never coming back, because I was like, even when I got here, I was like, I'm going to go to another base after this. I'm not coming back to America. So this is not going to work. And I tried for a year, and then also I deployed. So that's another reason too. So I was not really in Japan. I was in Iraq, and then I came back, and I'm like, nah, go live your life or do what you got to do, because it's not going to work. And we pretty much agreed to shut it down. And then after I came back, I kind of got into some. I got on, believe it or not, like a dating website called Japan Cupid. And when I was in Iraq, I was talking to a bunch of women and learning Japanese, and then just talking normally. And I was like, if I go here, we can meet up. And then I just ended up meeting women from up here in this area. So man, it's just been, yeah, dude, it happens naturally. I dated a few for a little bit, and then they just didn't work out because they really didn't understand how deep I was in the cars, and that my priority was getting this engine built in the car and get to the track on Saturday. And I'm just not, so I wasn't being a good boyfriend because I wasn't, or not. Yeah. We weren't boyfriend. We were just dating. So that's the thing too. Like I wasn't, we weren't official. So I was taking care of that stuff, man. And then my wife, I met her. She was driving the Evo 7. I was like, oh shit, she got an Evo 7. I don't have to convince her to be in the cars. And turned out she wasn't deep in the cars, but she just liked them. But we ended up, linking up, dating, and it was like an instant match. And like a year and a half later, I got her pregnant. Then we was like, fuck, dude. We're both 30 at the time, like 32, 33, something like that. And, or 34 maybe. And I'm about to be 39 in a couple, next week. So it's like time flies, and we've been married almost 6 years, got 5 kids. And yeah, man. So everything that people said it definitely happened. And but dude, without my wife, man, again, talking to you now from my podcast shop here, or whatever, it wouldn't be a thing, man. So yeah, man, everything just worked out, and I didn't force, like you said, I didn't force anything. Everything just kind of laid in, man. Like the shop, everything just it just laid in naturally, and it's been a smooth transition. Not easy, but it's just been smooth, man. So I think
but you kept on, you had a goal, right? It wasn't just a dream. You had a goal,
yeah,
and you worked at that goal every day.
Yeah.
And so you gotta be careful saying everything fell in, because I know it didn't.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It worked the way it was meant to be. Right. Because you stayed on it, and you kept grinding.
Right.
And it's I think that's the key, right?
And that's we'll take your correction there, because it definitely, even now, man, you will see when if you get a Japanese girl or whatever, they're pre-programmed to whatever you do, that's your life. And I don't like that part of Japan, and I'm keeping that away from my kids, man. I don't like that. They put you in this box, you can only be a tuner, you can only be a doctor, you can't do anything else outside of what you supposed to do to contribute to the community or whatever. That's how they live. So if you're a samurai, you're a fucking samurai. You can't be a chef as well. You can only be a samurai. So they live their life like that, and they're really good at what they do. So if they're a judo guy or whatever, anything that you see Japanese doing really good in, they're not good in other shit. So whatever the Daigo or Nakamura, I guarantee you, man, they can't make music like I do. They probably can't ride a dirt bike like I do. They probably can't do jiu-jitsu like I do, or judo. They probably can't do a lot of different things at a high level, because their mindset is just drifter, only drifting, only this. And that's cool, but I don't think that's healthy. And to be able to talk on different things, different subjects, and then when they get out of their element, they're really, really awkward people. And I see that all the time here. But when they get in their element, they're badass. And you know what I mean? So that's one thing. I mean, you college, running a business, different things, man. You're a good drifter and everything, whatever. But I can tell you're not. If you're not doing that one thing, you're not. You can communicate effectively. You can do other things, try other things and everything. So I think that's why it'll be good for you being here, because you'll bring that charisma and different things here, and inspire, believe it or not, other Japanese people. They're like, oh fuck, this American dude's over here drifting, and he's got a badass car. He's drifting one of our cars, and he brought it, and it's funny bringing it back from America to Japan. Yeah. So it's no, I didn't build it here. I built this Skyline in America, with a badass RB, and then I bring it. So right there, you'll gain thousands of followers and Japanese and all that stuff, man. It'll be intrigued, man. So yeah, man.
Well, yeah, and I think what's gonna be cool, and is as I don't even try to start speaking Japanese to me right now, because I've been learning since September, but I don't really get to practice that much. I take 5.
Dude, I've been here 8 years, and I suck, dude. I know the basics, and yeah.
But as I get better at it, and that's been a life goal of mine forever, is to be fluent in another language.
Yeah.
Like I want to know another language as well as I know English, and I don't. And but I'm on that path. And so as time goes on, though, I want to start speaking a lot more Japanese within the YouTube videos, and I think that will be really fun to be able to talk to someone and translate it, onto the video for my English viewers, English-speaking viewers, and then also be able to talk some Japanese on there for Japanese viewers that do come on the channel, which we have some. But I think that would be really cool too. They'll be like, man, he's like trying, and I just think it's I love other cultures, and I love learning, and I just think that's what's going to be so fun for me. Is it'll be an adventure right in my backyard, which I don't have now. Like Arizona's not that interesting to me. I think to some people it is, so I'm not trying to shit on Arizona, but for me, it's not. But Japan is.
Yeah.
So.
No, man, it's just, dude. I'm a Baltimore native, and I spent 20 whatever years there before I actually I didn't really leave because I went to University of Maryland, played football there a little bit. I was on an academic scholarship, and then I went to the military. Then I didn't choose this, man. I got orders back to fucking Andrews Air Force Base, which is Maryland, Silver Spring, Maryland, roughly. And I'm like, dude, I leave. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the military, and I come back to where I'm from. So I had family who didn't understand that, even though I'm 30 minutes up the road from Baltimore. It was like, dude, why you want to come over every day? I'm like, dude. We in the military before 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. I do more shit in that time frame than you'll do in the next 3 days of your life. They didn't get that about where I'm from, and so family members are talking shit and like, oh well, he's too big for us now and all that stuff. I'm like, nah, dude. Like I put myself in the military. I ran all these laps. I did all the requirements to get into the military. Which you watch movies, the shit's the same shit. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, well, you can't come back. I'm like, nah, dude, because I left there because there's nothing there. And, so now I have, man, dude, I'm not moving back to the States. It's not. I've been here 15 years and, I'm good, man. So, but
whatever, it's just, you got me thinking though. It's like, whatever happened to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually like I said before, man. That's what's happening kind of to me, man. I kind of look back and I look at my analytics and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, why? Like I'm posting like the same content, quality production, all that stuff, man, and then like it's just nothing. So it's just like it's cool. Like I don't get a lot of hate messages or people saying weird stuff. It's either supportive or nothing at all. So it's like, yeah, man, like you can't really say much because I'm not being a dickhead to people. I'm not throwing everything I own into people's face like, oh, look at me. I don't do that. I don't like that. And I'm not a clout chaser. And all the stuff that people kind of look at and pick apart and oh man, why is this guy throwing an engine on a brand new R32 hood or whatever, man, whatever out there, the guy doing that stuff. Or breaking stuff or whatever. Like, nah, I work too hard to break my shit up, not on purpose. But yeah, man. So like that's true, man. I just think a lot of guys out there, yeah, man. It's all in a nutshell. I'm just trying to like kind of find the words. It comes down to insecurity and lack of fulfillment in their own lives. That's all, man. And again, man, we've and at our ages and what we're doing within the industry, man, we could stop like right now and be like more successful than a lot of people because we took the chance, we spent the money, we took the risk in making certain relationships lasted, certain relationships didn't last, and I know you got a bunch of stories we can online offline talk about that, and everybody doesn't really gel together. So I've had some companies I work with that didn't work because they weren't for what they were giving me at the time, because I don't have any sponsors now actually. What they were giving me, I got business partners, so I still run some parts, but we're not sponsored stuff. But what they were giving me, I'm like, dude, I'm doing way too much publicity for a 15% discount, and no contract, nothing written in paper. So I was like, nah. After I got smarter on it, and I knew that trying to go out there and get all these sponsors and everything, it doesn't hold any weight when literally anybody out there watching this video can go to Mishimoto and sign up and say, I want to be a Mishimoto driver. and they'll say, all right, cool, throw this sticker on your car and shoot some Instagram photos and you're good. To me, that's great. But what they're doing is they're marketing. They're smart tactic. They're free marketing. So every time they don't have to spend the money or the resources marketing, they use everybody else to say, yeah, I got Mishimoto this, and this. And I fell into that trap. But what happens is that when you tell somebody else I'm sponsored by Mishimoto, it doesn't have any weight because everybody's sponsored by Mishimoto. So not knock on them. Again, we don't talk. I just get a decent percentage off. And actually, now that I'm a dealer, I get a better percentage off being a dealer than a driver. So that's weird. So I found out, and that's keeping it real. You can only be a dealer if you got a business. I got better deals being a dealer than I did being a driver. So that makes it's crazy.
I don't sell parts. But, because I had we built cars for Haugen Racing, private cars. I was able to get, and I had some pretty good connections from my last. Had years before that, I had an e-commerce parts business, and so I still had those relationships. So I just kept those deals, and it was like, I'm just gonna be at the dealer, the wholesale level, and
that's good. But hey, man, the thing about it, you work for that, and it's not, and also like this, I make posts frequently about the one thing you notice about my posts, man. I don't pull words. I say what I got to say because I'm not a business owner that's trying to pretend to be perfect for everybody, because I'm not. My style, my directness, it doesn't work for everybody. The customers that I work for, it's because they've been burnt before, or they want the information I give out, the markings, the torque specs, all that stuff I do for my customers. Every customer I've ever worked for, I got a digital folder of all their jobs that I'll keep forever on my cloud. And I can look back and say, hey, I did this R32 single turbo conversion. I don't got to go on Google. I have my own database. So when you show a customer, something that you built, not going on Google, that's some other shop in Arizona did that. What can you do? So every job I've ever done, I got saved. I could go back and look at that and everything. And it works for them because they want that structure versus, it'll be done, I think, next week. Or I don't do that. I'm going to be done next week, barring any other issues. I'm going to be done next week on the 15th. You can pick up your car at 1600. We'll have a meeting. You'll be out there about 1630. Structured, very structured, man. I don't do guessing games and, I think it'll cost about $7,000. Nah, dude, it's going to cost $8,000, $8,250.13. Exactly. That's how much it's going to cost.
Where have you been when I was using shops? Before I had my own shop, where were you?
Man,
I guess
man,
we would have gotten along.
Yeah, dude.
Because that's what I wanted. I was like, oh my God, just get the job done. Tell me the price.
But in the flip side, getting off me a little bit, in the flip side, I have seen some customers when I'm talking to me fuck, dude. Thanks, but I can tell. I look in the guy's eyes. Yesterday, he's like, dude, too much information. So when I get the queue and he's he got his fill of information, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, if you got any more questions, man, just hit me up by email and we could talk about it. But some guys, they don't want all information, but I do it because I don't want to send a customer out the door after they pay me $1,200 and be like, all right, here's your car later. Every customer that picks up a car from me, at least 25 minutes. And if it's an engine build, it's going to be about 35, 45 minutes. Going to go over everything, every torque spec, videos, test drive, and then you take your car. And it works out great. And I never had a customer come back and say, oh, man, my engine fell out or whatever. Yeah, man, it's been great. So I have that. I had one customer I built this engine for. He picked up his car and drove to Tokyo the next day. No local check. Awesome. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm confident in my skills, but do a local test drive first for an hour or two, because I've already put an hour on it. Do another hour, then go to Tokyo. He picked up his car, loaded up, and drove to Tokyo. And I'm like, fuck, bro. So if something happens, you're all the way down there.
What an animal.
Yeah, so he drove all the way down to Tokyo and back, man, no problems. I'm like, dude, that made me feel good as a builder, because that's 14 hours of driving. Yeah, man, and so that I was like, that now I was able to use that as a marketing tool. Like, hey, dude, it works, man. But anyway, dude, so you're gonna get here. I'm working on some cars up here. I'm gonna have some cars set up because eventually I know you're gonna make your way up to here to Misawa. MSP is 45 minutes from my shop, so, and again, 7 days a week. The D1 last 2020, fucking yeah, 2020 D1 champ. It's weird because they did 2020, 2021, then 2021. It was weird. So Masanori Kawashi, Team Orange satellite driver, he won a championship in 2020 D1, and he's my local guy. And I've known this guy since he was 15, and now he's like 20 whatever. And he's deep in the sims now, bro. Like deep, like this sim bug bit him. So he took all his winnings and bought sim gear. Yeah. So he got the surround sound. The only thing he don't have is a motion rig, which I'm like, should definitely buy one of those. Yeah, yeah, man. So the sim rig, like,
that's how I train.
Yeah, man. That's another community over here that's all in itself, and a lot of those guys come to the events. So most of the people that will be in the stands watching you drift are all mostly sim drivers, but they don't have the courage or the resources to get out there, but they're really, really good drifters, man. So I want to do something with some Japanese guys here and just probably like make some of my cars available. And that's the type of collab I want to do with people who are not, case point, I've never contacted the Samet guy. Nothing against him. Don't know him personally. I've seen his stuff and he has his following, but I'm not like, oh yeah, let's link up and do this. Like he's good by himself. He doesn't need me to bring him up like you were saying before. And so my thing is just contacting, like, I've been looking on Twitch and getting Japanese guys and kind of talking to them and, seeing if they're willing to do it, because some Japanese guys, they're not into stuff like that. They don't want to be on YouTube. They don't want to, they're not into it. You know what I mean? So, and I respect it. But what I'm trying to do is like, just provide a couple cars and like, see if they can translate their awesome skills from Assetto to the real thing. We go to Nico. I'm like, hey man, we're in Nico now. So what's up, man? So go ahead and drive this car. Here's the keys.
Hey,
and
I can tell you. I mean, like I've only gone, I've gone drifting like a handful of times in this last year because there are multiple issues, but there hasn't been any events really, and people to drive with, and we've been building the car, and there hasn't been tires available.
Right.
Like
crazy.
Tires. So and so I've gotten all my practice on the sim, and the couple times that I went out, like the last time I went out, we were testing the R32, and then I brought the R34 along, and Forrest Wing came out he wanted to get some time in a right-hand drive car before he was going to do this event, but he just brought his S14.9, his other comp car, just along to get some laps in, and we had an awesome time together, and I drove my ass off, and I was driving like, he was like blown away. He's like, dude, what have you been doing? I'm like, sim drifting.
Yeah.
I was like, I've only drifted like 3 times this year before this. And he's like, what the hell? So like, I'm telling you, in my experience, it works. It translates, perfectly. So yeah, those guys, they'll do well. It would be cool to.
Yeah, because I seen the video with the dudes from who's the James Dean partner, and they did that one video where they had the guy on there, and I think it did over 3 million views. And I didn't again 3 million views. And I've been. It's not that I don't want to watch these videos. I just embedded my stuff, and then it somebody that was one of the dudes that's on one of my groups, Gran Turismo. He been doing like a lot of guys are doing like Twitch nonstop, and then like they did this thing, and the Gran Turismo 7's been out for like 3 weeks now, and they had some shit go down the other day with the server been down. But they hit up a bunch of guys that were doing had the most followers, like everything. And now they got him with King Gucci and some other guys. They're gonna get him on the cars. It's gonna be sim drivers versus pro drivers versus YouTubers. And
wow,
so that
cool.
He just did the announcement. It's just over a week of this doing it. But I did the same thing, and I've been on the Sims for a long time. But again, what it comes down to, man, we're in a culture now where the spa, man. But that track, the reason why that shit got my I'm like kind of because there was a license test, the last license test on Gran Turismo 7 is spa in the wet, and bro, you got to make it around there in what it's whatever the time thing is, about 4 or something, and if you fuck up, man, you got to start all the way back over. So right this corner, I kept going off the track at this corner right there, and Yeah, right.
Look,
like,
I went wide
like
on the
that.
floor.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
my first time on the track.
Dude. And it was like wet on the Gran Turismo. It was wet on the edges, so you had to stay in the middle of the racing line. And yeah, dude. So yeah, everybody was going crazy on Spy, man. But yeah, man, it works. And it's funny we mentioned Nico a bunch. Nico was my first pro event. You know, after all these years of trying to get my stuff through D1, I got pro license on the King of Asia, which is now Drift Kings International. And I never drove. I spotted a Nico for Andy Gray one time. No, sorry, I didn't spot. I was his mechanic at Nico Circuit back in like 2000, like whatever, early 2000. And I went there once again for another event, and I never drove. And then my third time at Nico ever was driving, and I never drove the track, but I spent a week on at the time called R Factor. A lot of young guys know what R Factor is. But R Factor was before Seto, and it's still active, and but Seto just kind of took over. So R Factor, I spent a week there drifting on with the D1 GP car pack, and yeah, man, I placed top 16 out of like 60 something cars, man. Never drove Nico. And all for Sims, man. No motion rig, just just drifting, and it's pretty much thing just getting the gears up and like flying out there, and it's kind of cool because like on Nico everybody does that 3-wheel joint. You don't really want to do that too much in a competition. If you go out there a little bit, but that's like washing out, and most everybody that goes up there and does that 3-wheel shit, they wash out, and that's not the line they want you to run, because if the back car gets 3 wheels and then like comes down, then now his wheel slams down on a lead car and all this shit happens. So just like Manami, people don't realize like they don't want you to jump like Daigo. If you get 1 wheel up off the ground, cool, but they don't want 3 wheels off the ground because you're not in contact with the track, and if you come down, you go into the wall. It's not a safe line. They don't. That's not the thing. In Bisu, of course, is dirt now, which is another thing you'll get to do. You'll get to do dirt Manami. So yeah, man. So
no, I'm not doing that in the R32.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I got, again, man. Between Rahman and myself, we got enough throwaway cars. Well, not throwaway cars, but cars we don't mind. Getting damaged. I got a bunch of Subarus and other stuff we can go out there, man. So this car you're driving right here. Which because I'm so far behind in the Seto, like how are the packs arranged, and like I see the smoke shader, and the reason you can kind of talk about if you want a little bit, but the Seto it takes so much time to set up to really like do what you're doing right there, man. Like that smoke is not the normal smoke for guys watching. That's a plug-in, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So there's just like certain mods you got to get. It's not that bad.
Oh no, especially with Content Manager, it's really easy now.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get Content Manager, you get Soul, and then you just get the cars and tracks basically, and you're good to go.
I see you turn off your hands.
Huh?
You turned off the hand animation. You turned that off in the inside.
Oh yeah. I tried that. I just felt like it was distracting. I like the wheel, like it spins like your real life wheel.
Right.
But I didn't like the hands.
That fire is crazy, man.
Yeah. The smoke's cool now. Like this is a new Content Manager update. It's been a couple months, but it's pretty damn close to real life. Like when you're crashing. When you're behind somebody, like it has the same effect as in real life where you're completely blind.
Dude.
So like that's been really good. Because I keep it on like full smoke because I want that practice.
Right.
It's I don't know, man. I just feel so blessed that like I got a simulator last February. It's been a year now, and that that was the best decision I've like ever made for my drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of guys got it like during the I remember because it was again it was kind of like what I was talking about Masanori, the D1 GP champ, about 2000 because I've been doing wheel setups since about maybe 2000 I want to say like 2004 5 6 around that time I started doing wheel. 2004 was the first time I used a wheel, and I haven't touched a controller since, and that was like a DFGP2. It was a black it was like a 2 pedals, no clutch, the little shifter up there on the wheel, and it was the Logitech DFGP2. And then course graduated to the G25, G27, 29. Then I have I got the T500 RS and a bunch of other stuff. only for me, the only next step is is a motion rig, which I'm working with a company now to actually usher those into Japan. So I'll see how that goes. Dealer, get a dealer price on it. You know what I mean? So but yeah, man, it's like I took a whole rig, seat and everything to the track, and and it was MSP on R Factor. I got it made by my guy Datu, which that's where I fell off with Aceto. That's why I'm just getting on Aceto, because Aceto took the track, and I tried to contact them and say, hey man, I can make you guys track better, but they just ignore me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I know the track. I got the track owner's phone number in my phone. I can make this really official. And I guess they figured I wanted money or trouble for them, and they just ignored me. But the drift land or drift course on Aceto was MSP, my home course. Nobody on YouTube has more videos than me on MSP. You can look it up. And we made the track and everything, and they took it from there, man. But cool. Yeah, and that kind of, like, you know, as a content creator, man, that kind of really that irritated me. I didn't play Aceto until like 4 years later, after it came off for that shit. But whatever. Water Under the Bridge is a cool game. And and what I was saying, man, was like yeah, man, it's so much. I don't want to feel like I'm talking too much, man. But yeah, dude, it's definitely a cool tool. I let them use it. They weren't interested at all with R Factor, and then like flash forward when the pandemic hit, and he's now full bore into Sims, and like it's kind of like, yeah, well, dude, I told you about it, and you like, oh, nah, it's a game. I'm like, nah, dude, it's kind of like when you tell a guy a cartoon and anime. You don't call an anime a cartoon, because anime guys get really angry because there's not. Initial D is not a cartoon. It's an anime, and it's a different thing. And same like this is not. It's a sim. It's not Need for Speed. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, Need for Speed has this lane, but Aceto and Project Cars, Gran Turismo, different lane, and then they battle with each other for who's the, you know, whatever, dude. Play what you want to play. Yeah. So it is. But on that stuff, I'm pretty sure, man, you're gonna get the sim stuff sent over and everything, and Rama can help with that, and even I can help with that. So that's what I'm saying. We'll talk about the ways you can get that rig sent over here and not spend $1 million.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So
yeah,
but hey, man, yeah, man. I don't want to hold it, because I actually got to get back and man, before I do that, man, any other thoughts or any other things you want to get out there, man, as far as coming to Japan and anything else before I close out? Because we're going to talk. The thing is, I'm keeping it short because we're going to talk so much more when you get here, and it's going to be normal.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm excited for the journey. I mean, like, I just think, I don't know. I think it's the best move for me and the best move for Haugen Racing.
I'm selfishly happy, man. I'm like, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Because it's like, I really, to be what we're doing, man. I seriously, I'm not making this up, man. Everybody that's here, it's on a different path. Try to link with some other guys, and again, our minds and what we do is totally on a different level. So when you get those, you try to bring people up to your level, and they realize how much work it is. They're like, oh, fuck that, man. I thought it was all fun. And I brought some guys to my shop, and they get to see how hard it really is, not the Instagram filter and shit. Like, bro, it's hard work, man. I'm here 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm here, like, I'm putting 16, 17 hours a day into my business. And that's why I don't tolerate guys saying, hey, man, I messaged you. I'm like, nah, dude, I check my emails. Emails is money. So if you message me and it went to spam, is because you put in the subject line, hey, cars, man. What the fuck is that? Don't mean nothing. Like, that's not professional. Like, you address the company, what you want, blah, blah, blah. So that's a whole different story. But you being business-minded, entrepreneur, a fellow pro driver, there's just differences, man, in the mindsets, and we're already on the same wavelength, so it's just easier to connect, and that's what I'm happy about. You know, I have very few friends like that here, and I just for what I do, the average, what's that Tokyo Drift board right here?
Yeah, the parking lot.
Yeah, so what car are you driving?
So huh?
Which one you driving?
I'm in the back, the GS300.
Oh, nice. You got the Magician's color, or kind of like a little bit of a pink style Nakamura color going on there. But yeah, dude, I'm so far behind in boards and car packs and all that stuff, man. So what car packs do you use?
So the mainly Sujigiri and VDC. Those are kind of the hot ones right now. They're both like competition car packs. and
It makes such a big
for
difference,
pro
man.
cars.
Yeah.
And then street cars, Gravy Garage, and Sujigiri.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah. I
Yeah,
figure.
there's some other good ones, but I always like the ones that have like the most realistic physics and
Yeah.
suspension, and stylish too is big to
Yeah,
me.
because I got to see when you did a little jump, the car like was really settled, and what people don't realize with these damn dude.
I know I like got sucked through the map there.
Oh yeah.
It's no glitches every once in a
Yeah,
while.
I had to happen at a BC at school course. No, at a tollgate course. Like I couldn't go, but I tried to go by the garage and it fell off the map. But what people don't realize, man, with the packs, for the guys who don't know, like the packs, your basic mods, like your real fill and your stuff like it makes the game. So a lot of guys, I feel with Assetto, they give it like 10 minutes and like, man, this is too hard. Like you got to get the good packs because you can. The difference between a good pack is how you see Matt drifting right there. Kind of that car's too fat to fit up there, but the difference between that car you see drifting smoothly like that, and then a bad pack, the car will be all over the place, and you don't really want to tune it too much. The good packs are already pretty much dialed in, and then they release them, and you can tweak it how you want it. But a good pack, man, will make it very, very easy to get it done, man. So yeah, man, it's cool, and you know, what I mean, it's again, like I said before, man, good to it's going to be good to have you over here right now. My end is getting spring. Spring is, I mean, it just snowed yesterday, and spring is about April 25th. We're pretty much done with the snow. It can still snow in May. That's how. Yeah, we're up here, man.
Wow.
So for me, my summers are, and it's totally different where you're at. It could be 20 degrees colder or where I'm at to where you're at. So you're in a good place. So Nico, that area, you guys are getting good weather already. So you'll be in t-shirt weather, pretty much when you arrive. And so you got to combat that stuff, cold weather, and you're being cold, tires being cold, track being cold. So that's a good thing there, man. So, and then, you know, I mean, Ramon travels, so you'll go on travels with him and different things. He comes up here sometimes and everything. So we'll definitely link up, man. We'll make it. You can catch a train up here. I can pick you up, and we can go to the track, and you can be back in there by the nighttime. That's how cool it is in Japan, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can literally leave Saitama by train, drift, and be dropped back off of the train and back in Saitama by 10 o'clock in one day. So. You know, what I mean?
That's what I need.
Yeah, dude.
Need some.
Yeah, so I'm working on the G35 right now, making that manual. I got I got a few other cars, S14 I'm working on. So these are just for people who guests that come up to the shop. And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna have my people come up here and not like you're gonna go drift, man. And I give them the keys. Like, oh fuck. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go on the track, man. I had my crew of people up from Kanagawa. They dropped their car off, the C35. I had the red one. And her husband's GZX 110 going to be LS1. I had an RX8, and I was like, "Yeah, man, let's go to the track." And he's like, "All right, cool." Like, all right, so you're driving. Here's the keys. They're like, "Well, huh? What do you mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I didn't bring you to the track to watch me drive. I've already done this track 1,000 times." So yeah, man, and I don't care about the car crashing or nothing, dude. It's drifting, whatever. I know your skill level, so whatever.
Yeah, as I crash in the wall every time we talk about
yeah, so that's a dope. Is that so? Like that BMW right there was an E whatever.
Like E36 compact.
So
I think
that's already like it's of course already modded, the wheels and everything. The livery's already modded that way, or did you do that?
Yeah, that's part of the Gravy Garage pack. The car's like I don't really like BMWs. I'm like a huge fan.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike them. They're just not like for me. But that car is so fun.
Yeah,
because it has the compact back end. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like chopped
super
in the
fun.
back. God damn, dude. So your rig, just looking at that view, man. Like, if you could, I said we're gonna get out of here, but could you tell us a little bit, the guys who are watching, man, a little bit about your rig specs and everything?
Sure. Yeah. So I started out because I thought, sometimes I'll like review video games. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you've seen that where I like come in and take a video game and kind of explain if I think it's worth playing for fun and also worth playing for like practice or learning about actually how to drift. So anything from like mobile games, computer games, Xbox, anything like that. And so when I originally built the rig, I wanted it to be PC and Xbox compatible, but still be like really good for PC Assetto Corsa.
Right.
So I did like all the Fantech stuff. I did the DD2, which is a savage wheel, but I got all matching Fanatec peripherals so that I could use it on Xbox. I never used it on Xbox, but that's kind of why I have like the Fanatec shifter and handbrake and pedals. I just recently actually changed the pedals because I didn't realize how much I'd be driving on it, and I want it to be as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
So now I'm changing out the pedals, handbrake, and shifter. I'm waiting on the handbrake's like sitting behind me right now, actually, waiting on the shifter to come. But it's an 80/20 rig, so it's like super customizable. I like such a big fan of that. You can get any 80/20 rig you want. They're all pretty similar. But then you can easily adjust stuff. It's not like a tubular rig or something custom made. And then VR. I got a Valve Index, and that thing's been so good. Like, I think VR is, in my opinion, like the absolute key for like immersive drifting.
The first time I used VR in Assetto, I got the regular Oculus. It just was like, the guy got it and put it back in the box. It was brand new, and never use it. And dude, I was setting it up, and then like, dude, I was like an hour later, I'm in there trying to like chase a little Martian around and shit and do all this other stuff. And then I went on the track, and I was like, bro, it's like your actual field of view is the actual field of view. Like, and I will say they did a really good job somehow. The settle, I know they did. They got the R-Factor track. They went in there and kind of re-engineered, because the width and everything is the actual width. So when you're actually when you're looking on the screen, even if you got a nice 4K 70-inch whatever, it doesn't do justice for the actual VR. And then you're looking around, and it's just the actual and you could just actually get on the car and drive. And because it looks the same, only thing is different is you're not feeling any motion. So the motion rig will be like a motion rig with a solid VR like you got. It's like, bro, that's like, you know, the only thing that's better than that is going outside and getting in a real car, because it's so good, man. It's so.
And I don't have motion, and I didn't do it originally because my rig's already super expensive, but it would just made it outrageous. I'm actually holding off. Like, I think someday when I can have like 2 rigs, then I'd have like a crazy one with motion.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've became a lot better drifter because I now don't rely on any physical cues.
Right.
It's eyesight. And so when I get in real life in the drift car, now I just have extra information, but I'm not relying on it.
Right.
So there's been like a big thing with like real life drifters going to sim drifting, vice versa. What's easier? Sim drifting to real life, 1,000 times easier.
Oh, definitely.
You have the skills. You just got to get used to the G-forces and all the new feelings and stuff. Some guys that real life drift, when they try to get into sim drifting, this is like a common thing. I've talked to other drivers. They can't figure it out. They don't like it because there's no motion, or the VR makes them sick, this or that.
Yeah.
And so, I'm kind of avoiding motion because I think it makes me better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, that's true. And what you're saying too right there is like what it comes down to. Every time I have a new person at the shop, like Corona's I got 3 rigs here, stationary rigs, about big TVs in front of them. So I got like 2. So for GT7 or Gran Turismo, I have like, you know, people like, oh, we could play screen to screen. Like, nah, dude, you got your own screen, your own steering wheel. It's like, and we're online, so it's crazy to be online in your same area. So your online lobby, and you know, you'll see it, you'll play with it too. And yeah, man, it's just cool to see, man, because I'm like, guys will be timid. I'm like, dude, these wheels they're not fragile. Like, don't fucking like break it, but you don't have to be gentle. You can really throw it. You can really, you know, steer it and everything. And once I say that to people, it snaps, man. They never played a rig in their life. They just end up doing what they're doing. You can rev match, clutch, downshift. You could do all that stuff. And even with GT7 now, just came out, you actually can use engine brakes. So if you downshift and at the right point, you could actually use the gearbox to slow down, which is a new thing. And but of course, if you throw it from 5th to 1st, it's going to rev out like to the moon and shit, and it's not going to do anything. So you actually have to brake and then downshift, and then it'll be like, and then it'll like match and everything. Of course, if you got the paddle shifted shit, it'll do its own. You don't got to do that because it does it for you. But every time I tell a person to drive like you drive your car, it just snaps and they drive instantly 1,000 times better from never touching a rig in their life. Because like you said, man, we do it every day. We go outside, we get in the car, and from the reason why the sim guys are good, because they're not driving the car physically, but your mind is still doing the same shit. You're still saying, hey, apex here, slow down, brakes, clutch in, whatever. And your only thing you don't have is, of course, the feedback. I put a fan up to not have people get sick. The fan blows on them and stuff like that. One thing I do is odd. I actually put a heater on me when I'm driving because you're not cold when you're fucking in a car at a cockpit. You're hot as fuck. Yeah. So I got a heater, dude, and like you're sweating, and it really simulates that. When I did five lap battles in Zakuba with my buddies yesterday, and I had the heater on me about I've been here too long, about 26 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure how much that is in degrees. I've been here too long. Yeah, dude, it's like simulating being hot as fuck in a cockpit. And yeah, dude, that's sick idea. Dude. So it's dude, it's bro, your mind is doing it. You're just so when you go from the sim to the I think every sim guy that goes from there real life, they'll do well because your mind is already doing it. You just got to physically do it now, and you're physically doing it, by the way. So that's you. So I'm not making sense right now, but you're physically doing it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, but your mind already has that knowledge. So when you go on the track and do it, it's like, oh shit, that's what I'm doing. I'm just pitching yaw to it, and you go from there, man. Only difference now is you got smells too, depending on how the plumbing of your cabin is. So if you got a leak in your exhaust, yeah, I've been there too. Yeah. And then like, fuck, you're getting sick from exhaust gases. And I know you're in your video. You mentioned you guys did it so you didn't have smoke and shit filling the cabin, which is a common thing you see with people.
Yeah. Just try to keep it as enclosed as possible, and also for the rain too. That was like, I know it's obviously gonna rain on me. Yeah, so
ventilation.
Prepare for all that.
Yeah, man, that's all that stuff there, man. So that's good. But hey, man, again, brother, it's good to talk to you, man. And again, guys, man, my parting thing, I always try to do this in all podcasts, positive everything. It's just do it, man. Like I know the Shia LaBeouf guy was like to just do it. Like seriously,
I didn't even think of that.
Seriously, dude. Like I gotta make a note to put that in there, man. So it was 137. Well, yeah. So Shia, my bad. So yeah, man. Just seriously, just do it, man. Whatever you're out there trying to do. The only difference between, again, Matt, myself, and everybody else that you look at on YouTube, and I don't know why YouTube is becoming like. I do know why it is because it's taken over. You got dudes like the Mr. Beast guy. He was just on Rogan. I didn't know who he actually was until I seen the Squid Game thing, and I'm like, this dude is the fucking top dude on YouTube. But it's weird, man, and like, you know, what I mean, it's becoming mainstream. So my kids don't say turn on Disney or whatever. They want to fucking watch YouTube all day on their phones. Each one of my kids, I try to limit it because I know it's not good. Like last night, my 3 kids that are older, 2 have a phone and 1 has a tablet, and they're all watching different shit on YouTube. My daughter's watching girl shit. My one son is watching dirt bikes, and my other one is watching cartoons. It's like they don't care about NBC and they don't care about HBO. Like that's not their. It's different for kids now. So I think we're in a good light, man. Where a lot of my demographic is now 18 to about 32 is my demographic of people who watch my. How about you? What's your for your analytics? What's your age range?
Mine's pretty similar. Yeah. I've been really trying to get like more. They don't give you as much analytics on like below 18, but I've been trying to get more of that younger audience as well. Yeah. But mine's like right in that 18 to 25. Yeah. I think it's split at 24, like you said.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is my like geographically, only like less than half my fan base is in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's same for my customers for merchandise as well.
So that's weird, man. And what I do, because I've been, my channel just hit 10K, and the reason why I just hit 10K was no shit. I was at about 8K a couple months ago, and what I did is I went to the analytics, because YouTube is smart, man. They set it up for the guys who want to do YouTube. They give you all the tools, but if you don't use them, you will not rank well. So now I'm starting to rank higher because I took all my top 3 demographics, which is Philippines, Brazil, and it's like I don't have any like Philippines. I'm not sure why Philippines is my number 1. So Philippines, Brazil, and then Japan is like 4th. And so what I do is I take those top ones and I do the translation for the title and everything. So automatically when they search in Portuguese, it comes up in Portuguese. And that grew,
Nice.
that overnight, man, I got about 1,200 subscribers, and I did Philippines, and then Philippines is whatever, but the tag log or whatever, and it went up again. And then the generator for the text, you just have to encode it once, and then you push the language, and then it'll be Japanese, it'll be Portuguese or whatever. So you don't got to translate it all; it'll translate it by itself. So it's pretty cool, man. They give you the tools, but you have to use them to really get out of the slums of YouTube, where I'm still at. 10K is not a lot.
It's tough though. It's
Yeah.
tough to even get there.
But it's crazy. I've been in my YouTube channel started in 2006, and it was gaming stuff. And then I kind of went. My face didn't show until 2013. So 2006 to 2013 was just videos and events. I never talked on it. I never put my face on it. And then I kind of missed that vlogger stage. And then now I do it, and my people like those videos, like actually seeing the creator and different things now. And like you, man, I know what you're saying. I'm pretty sure the vlogging stuff, like you brought up before, I'm pretty certain you probably were doing a vlog and you're like, man, this shit's lame, and put the camera away. Because I've done it before. Is that true or not?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why I originally didn't want to do YouTube. That's why I waited so long.
Just feels, because it's like, man, I do cool shit every day. But then, like, the setup of vlogging, it kind of adds a different element, because now you got to set up and do this, and you got to focus on what you're doing, and setting up cameras and moving them around. I don't have a staff, or I don't have a B-roll camera guy, so I got to set up those camera stands and all that. That takes time away from my build or whatever. So that's why I don't do it as much. And I got my own issues where I don't like people around, to be honest. I just don't like, this, my Iraq stuff and my PTSD. I just like to be mellow alone in my shop, listening to music or listen to another podcast or whatever. As far as somebody constantly being around, I don't mind people around sometimes, but constantly every day, I don't like that. So for that reason, I don't have a B-roll guy. I need to get one, because that way I can have hands off, and I'm just having a guy follow me around and do stuff that's in the cars, and actually can lend a hand if I say, hey man, jack up the transmission, and it's not like, oh, what do you mean push it off the lift? Like, nah, dude, jack it up. So yeah, man, we'll see. But again, man, I know we're gonna, even though we said what we said about the collab stuff, there's no doubt about it, we're gonna definitely do some stuff together. I mean, we're gonna be so closely related, but I think our energy is just different. We're just doing it because it's cool. And we're not doing it necessarily to say, hey, man, I had Adam LZ on last week and blah, blah, blah. Or we're not doing it for that reason. And I think that's why it'll be a little bit different for us. Rahman is on a few different YouTube channels as well. He don't run in, but he features on a few different Japanese YouTube channels, which I haven't met the guys, but Japanese YouTubers are, man, they're Japanese TV you'll see is splash screens, and your videos kind of look like it a little bit. The little text and everything. So I think you've seen a lot of the videos, but dude, they just put too much data on the screen. I'm like, dude, dude. Like, I'm talking about like big ass text and just this and this. Like, I just want to see the car, dude. Like, so yeah, it's the TV is like 10 times worse than TV, but they do their thing, man. And that's why my channel suffers, because if you look at my screen right there, or you've seen it before, it keeps saying YouTube JP, so my IP puts me in Japan, but my account is US, so I basically get no views because it's not coming up in the US, and then it doesn't come up in Japan because I don't put any kanji. So I got to keep changing it back to US, and then it goes away. Then the next 24 hours it resyncs, and it says like, right, you probably can't see it, but it says right there like JP, like the premium.
Oh yeah.
So that means I'm in Japan, and I'm not. I'm in Japan, but I don't want my analytics is America. That's what I put for US because I'm American, so it feeds all that stuff there. So, but again, my YouTube it's just an outlet for me to put stuff. That's not my grind, and I respect it, and I do get business from it, man. So it's good to go, man. So. Anyway, okay. Man. So, hey, man. Again, brother, man. Thanks for your time, and
yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, I'll talk more to you, man, because podcast is therapeutic for me, man. I got to, excited to talk to you and everything, man. So again, man, so just keep me updated and everything on like, stuff as it goes. If you need any assistance from that, of course, you got Rahman. But if you need any additional assistance, just let me know and we can make it happen, man.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me on. This is fun. And I'll probably, the next time, hopefully, I'm just there in person.
Oh yeah, for sure. Out. Definitely. That's without a doubt. I already know it's going to happen, man. So we're not going to do a video podcast. That's why Rahman hasn't been on yet. It's like, no, dude, you're in Japan. We're going to come up here and do it when you're up here, man. Again, I'm only 8 hours from you, and it's not a lot. I mean, I literally can leave. I'll leave here 2 and 3 in the morning. I'm there by lunchtime. And I do it every time. I drop a car off. Rahman and I go to lunch, and then I check out some stuff, and I go back. I do a 1 day turn, so I'm back in Misawa by 11:30, 12 o'clock. Like turn and burn, dude. I just watch your videos. But dude, look, how many times have you been gaming for 3-4 hours?
Yeah.
So it's like, and people are like, dude, I'm like, it's not. I put on a Rogan podcast. It's like what, 2 Rogan podcasts and some other podcasts. You're in Saitama. It's 3 hours.
Yeah,
3 hours. Yeah, man, it goes by, and I try, and it's the reason why, man. I'm motivated to do what I do. And it's just the motivation. I don't get tired, and I get back here and I still do emails after I get back from driving 14 hours. I still do emails. I do all this stuff. I come to the shop work sometimes. My family sleep. I'm not tired yet, so it's just motivation. And the guys are there again, watching and listening. Matt could tell you about it. When you're motivated to do your own shit, there's a different type of energy that you bring because it's the results that you get is directly related to your work. It's not like you're going to work at McDonald's for 15 hours a day and you're just serving fries or whatever. You're not really, that's not your destiny. Whoever's running McDonald's, you're fulfilling their destiny. And that's how a lot of guys they'll put 12 hours into a job and won't put an hour into trying to start the e-commerce or trying to get on Amazon and sell something or trying to do something that's going to benefit them. You got PayPal, which I don't like anymore. You got all these different ways to make money and collect money from people with or without taxes, whatever. And there's many ways to make side money. My business started from $5,000 of side money. That was money I got from selling wheels, which that game is dead now. That's how I started my business with $5,000, and it grew to where we at right now, 6 years and only getting started, man. So I just, Matt's positive. I'm positive. Well, I can definitely say I'm not negative, but some of the stuff I say sometimes, how blunt I am, it can seem negative, but it's a negative positive if it makes sense. I'm trying to tell guys, hey man, you can do it. Mind your business. Forget those other guys. You're not one of the cool kids. Just do your thing, man, and you'll be good to go out there, man.
Heck yeah, dude. Right. I like it.
Yeah, brother. So again, man, thank you guys for tuning in. It's going to be Matt Haugen. Currently in Arizona, but soon to be Saitama, Japan, and wherever else. And so he'll be here. Look out for him if you're not already on his channel. Matt, it's your TV is your channel is I'm on it right now.
Haugen Racing.
Haugen Racing. So Haugen Racing.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff.
So all that stuff will be down in the description there. So you guys just click on it for the Haugen Racing on YouTube. It's hyperlinks right to his site from the description. So you can check that out. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Again, thank you guys. I think this is like my first podcast is reaching 10,000. I'm at about 10,080 or something like that. And I do check it because the analytics, is for me, it's business. So I got kind of like 10,000 people who would buy stuff from me, which is cool. So, it is what it is, guys. I'm just kind of going to do what I do. And however it comes, it comes. I'm not going to go out there and buy likes and buy subscribers. And you can tell when people do that because if you have 500,000 subscribers and 0 comments, yeah. or the fake comments, or you can do the fake generated comments, which has nothing to do with the videos. Like people can see right through that shit. So don't do that, guys. Just build it organically, and it'll work for you. If you're definitely interested in YouTube, making it a living for sure, it's a job, and it's one that's not gonna compete with your daily job. So at a certain point, you're going to have to quit your job and like go full bore into making YouTube videos and content, because a few guys have done it over the last 2 weeks that they got really popular as a result of 24-hour streaming on Twitch and Facebook. and they seen the money already. The analytics like, oh, dude, I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna put in my resignation, and I'm just gonna do this all day. But hopefully they're willing to do that, because you got to continue to do that. You got to do that every day, and that's when it becomes a job. And you can't go out like Matt said and day drink and go out, because you're editing videos, you're doing analytics, you're doing all that stuff, and anything worthwhile is going to be difficult to do. But it's, to me, it's worth the all my shitty days are worth what I can do on a weekly basis, man. The relaxation of being on my own terms and things like that is definitely worth it, guys. So again, enough motivation. I think we give you enough out there. Go out there and get it done. Just do it, like I said. And yeah, man. Corona, we did a video. Corona is what it is. So just get through that crap, and just don't let that slow you down. Just find a way to make it happen when we get out there. So again, it's gonna be Donnie signing off from South Japan, Matt from Arizona. So we see you guys later. Peace.
Good day.